Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing? Welcome back to First Contact Radio. So I hope you're having a good day so far, and let's see where it's going to take us from here. All right, we're going to start off at spaceweather.com, get our solar wind. Let's find out where we're at here. We got 325.9 kilometers per second. We scroll on down left-hand side, we see our planetary K-index. This is an index which goes up to 9, 0 through 9, 9 being the highest. So you could see we're very, very low. We're at one end of the scale at a 1, and in the next 24 hours it's not expected to be any higher than a 2. You can see our coronal hole. We still have this large one at the bottom here. And coronal holes, if you remember, are areas where solar wind can really zip across them at a pretty good rate, faster than normal. And the solar or the coronal hole that we had seen in the past was a large triangle, and we are still, I believe, seeing that triangle underneath. I don't believe it has disappeared. I believe that it just is obscured from view. If we go down, we look at our chance for any kind of geomagnetic storm, very, very low. If you're in the high latitudes, you have a 25% chance you're going to have some sort of minor activity, but other than that, everything else is pretty low. And only about a 1% chance we're going to have an M-class or an X-class flare. And yesterday I told you about the incoming CME. It's not expected to hit the planet until sometime later today. So we'll see what kind of effect that has on us down here. Now, astrologically, we've gone over pretty good the sun sign, which is Aries. The moon sign for today, right here, is Virgo. Yesterday it was in between signs. Today it is Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. So we're dealing with an unconscious sign of earth, element of earth, and conscious mind, which is the sun, element of fire. So fire and earth are the two elements we're working with today. Fire and earth. Earth brings us to practical ideas, because being down on here on earth, that's kind of the idea, the practicality of what we do on earth to move us through each and every day. And Virgos are analytical, so today's a day of analyze, asking questions, going over information. Mercury has just gone back direct, but there's always that period of time when it goes back direct where it's still in the phase of gaining its strength. So over the next couple days you'll find that you become re-energized a bit, and your thinking should become a bit clearer as we move into the full moon, which is coming up on Friday. And our moon phase right here, you can see, is 93% of the way full. Going to be full on Friday, just before Easter time. And last but not least, our Mayan oracle for today. We're in the 11th position here on the 13-day wave spell. The wave spell is the theme of the warrior, and we're at the 11th position. The 11th position here is the World Bridger. The World Bridger is all about life and death. The World Bridger is guided by the World Bridger, so the power of the kin, these are all called individual kin or day. The kin, the World Bridger, is guided by itself, so it's doubling its power. And then the supporting cast around it, you have the warrior and the skywalker, which are asking questions and challenging with questions and using the power of exploration and space to know that this is really what's part of the nature of the beings by going out and doing that. That's natural, to go out and make those kind of explorations into life, one's own life, find out what you're about. And then the kin underneath, which is called the occult kin, and occult is just hidden. That's all that that word means. You know, you've had a lot of a meaning assigned to it, but it doesn't mean anything more than that. It just means that which is hidden. In this case here, the hidden or underlying idea is vision. And so the power of vision that we have inside is our driving force, the underlying power that we have. And all of this makes up a phrase: I dissolve in order to equalize, releasing opportunity. I seal the store of death with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by my own power doubled. And on the Gregorian calendar, it is Wednesday, April 4th, 2012. So there you have it, moving right along. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we're at energetically. Because to me, it's all about, it's like a weather report. You want to see where the weather is every day, what the energy is you're dealing with, and that way you know when you go out how to, how to take care of yourself in that energy. It's no different than looking out and you see it's raining, put on a raincoat, or you take an umbrella. You see it's hot and sunny, you wear shorts and a short sleeve shirt. Something like that nature. This is a little bit more because this is energy, and energy hits us. It doesn't just hit our clothes. It actually goes through us. So as we're able to understand the energy that's flowing through us and all around us, it makes a difference on how we're able to work with it throughout the course of the day. All right, Dirk Bradshaw is back with us again today. He has a story about, well, this is his Cosmic News Weekly Report. So Dirk, over to you.
And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lives?
Flying high above the planet Earth, this is the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw. I am Dirk Bradshaw. According to the FBI, Sabu, the head of Lowell's sect and the de facto king of Anonymous, easily the most notorious and influential hacker alive today, just turned in his own people to the police. The name Sabu should be familiar. As part of the Lowell sect, a potent offshoot of Anonymous, he masterminded legendary attacks against the CIA, FBI, Sony, and numerous other corporate and government targets. He was their Captain Hook. That was before the shadowy hack deity is not only confirmed to be unemployed 28-year-old New Yorker Hector Javier Monsignor, that Sabu has been collaborating with the government for months, leading to a string of arrests around the world. It's unclear how many will be dragged down with Sabu's 9 months of federal collaborating, but it's safe to assume whatever vestiges of Lowell's sect remain are now toast. We'll know for sure when all the indictments are unsealed. When Jack Forsey, 32, died of a heart arrhythmia in June of 2011, he left behind a number of grieving friends and family members. But several mysterious posthumous emails from Forsey's accounts have brought some happiness and closure to those who were closest to him. 5 months after Forsey's death, his childhood best friend Tim Hart received an email from Forsey's account. One night in November, Tim was sitting on his couch going through emails on his phone, and it popped up. Sender, Jack Forsey? Tim turned ghost white when he read it. It was very quick and short, but to a point that only Jack and he could relate on. The email had the subject reading, "I'm watching," while the text of the message itself read, "Did you hear me? I'm at your house. Clean your effing attic." Hart says that shortly before Forsey's death, the two had a private conversation in Hart's attic, during which Forsey teased him about the attic's messy state. But he and Tim were the only ones up there. Forsey's cousin, Jimmy McGraw, also claims to have received a posthumous email from Forsey warning him about an ankle injury that occurred after his cousin's death. For now, the source of the emails remain a mystery, but that's okay with Hart, who says that even if the emails are coming from a cruel prankster who has hacked Forsey's account, he doesn't mind. What's interesting and unique about this case is that the emails all had a personal touch. There have been several reported cases of emails sent from a deceased person's account, but those usually can be easily traced back to spam accounts that have accessed the deceased person's information. Will Russia finally send a man to the moon? Russia has plans to send a team of cosmonauts to the moon 60 years after Neil Armstrong's Apollo mission ended the U.S.-Soviet space race. Moscow has periodically announced ambitious plans for space exploration in recent years, but this is the first time a firm deadline has been set for a manned lunar mission. Russia won the first round of the space race when it launched the first man to orbit the Earth. Many believe that in 1961, Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin fulfilled John F. Kennedy's promise to reach the moon by the end of the decade, supposedly landing there on June 20th, 1969. The Soviet Union subsequently canceled its lunar programs. Plans to send cosmonauts to the moon could revive Russia's space program after a troubled period. A series of satellites crashed last year, and in January, its Mars probe fell to Earth after a faulty launch 2 months earlier. Last week, the space agency suffered another humiliation after reports that the head of the agency had sustained head injuries after an alleged brawl at work. Vladimir Putin, Russia's prime minister and president-elect, wants to restore Russia's space program back to its former glory. Oh, man, I can't believe it's over. Where does the time go? Well, I see the fat lady's off the stage. She's looking right at me. It's time for me to go put her to bed. I hate goodbyes, so instead I'm going to say, until we meet again, I'm Dirk Bradshaw for the Cosmic News. Wake up. This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
Dirk, thank you very much. This is the UFO News for today. All right, we're going to start off here. First story comes to us from Roger Marsh over at the Examiner. Rectangle UFO quickly disappears over Arnold, Missouri. 2 Arnold, Missouri witnesses report watching an unusually large rectangular-shaped object that glowed off-white or yellow in the night sky as they stood outside Jefferson College on April 2, 2012, according to testimony from the Mutual UFO Witness Reporting Database. The 2 were watching a satellite at the time and noticed a second object they could not identify. To our right, we noticed a very large, yellowish, off-white lighted object. The reported witness stated, it was rectangular in the sky, only it didn't have sharp corners. It wasn't too high and it wasn't too far. It was clear night, and there was plenty of distance around it in every direction of the empty sky. Alright, there's no pictures or anything with this. This is the water tower where we're seeing. Alright. The link is available so you can follow up on your own. Alright, here we go. Next story. UFO fireball over New Orleans, Louisiana on the 2nd. Alright, let's take a look at what we have here. You could tell it's a pretty good rainstorm that is going on. Let me move forward a little bit here. Alright, in the midst of this rainstorm, you've got this little ball of light up there. Doesn't seem to be affected. Alright, most interesting. Alright, the link's available for you. FirstContactRadio.com, right hand side, UFO News. Alright, here we have a UFO expert says Sweden flying saucer is not a fake. A Hollywood FX specialist has examined the hotly discussed Sweden flying saucer video with powerful movie editing equipment and says the video recorded in February near Astrpaio in Sweden isn't faked. The anonymous specialist stopped short of verifying the UFO is genuine unknown flying object, but observes that if it is bogus, it's the best fake ever. Alright, so let's take a look at what this is. Alright, here is the moment where they're about to see. There we go, okay, there it is. Pretty interesting, large craft. See it back in there. Okay, so the expert says it's not faked. There's a video of him, a 6-minute video discussing it. There's more of that interview, so you can check that out, see what you think. Next story here, we have a UFO flying past the large statue of Jesus in Rio de Janeiro. UFO shoots past Christ statue over Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, April 2nd. This one is a bit hard to see, but when you put it in slow motion or altered color, it becomes very obvious that something very fast and cigar-shaped shoots past this statue on the mountain. Alright, let's see if we can get a look at it here. Alright, you can see you have to watch it real close because it goes by very fast. There you go, you can see. Alright, it's a pretty fast moving ship. The link's available. Check it out, see what you think further from there. Here's further video of the UFO landing in New Orleans. The other one wasn't landing. This one actually says landing, so let's see what happens. Person who records this UFO believes it is a ball of lightning, but I have seen cloud orbs over the last few years. And this is one of them. Lightning storms often have UFOs that are seen above them. This is not a ball because of lightning, because the UFO looks fluorescent. Alright, so let's take a look. We've seen this here. Let's just see if we can get to the part where it talks about the landing. Alright, we just see it coming down. Alright, that seems to be about the extent of it. Don't know about any landing part, just went out of frame. But check it out, see what you think. And the last one here, we have another sighting up by a plane. We've seen plenty of these. UFO near plane over London, England on April 2nd. This is the 4th or 5th video in the last 30 years that was taken from a plane catching a UFO in the clouds. Why UFOs are suddenly seen from planes is a real question. Perhaps it is the abundance of kids playing with smartphones and taking photos of clouds. My son does it every time we get on a plane. Alright. Let's see where we find this thing. Alright. Alright, moving right along here. Where is it? Is that it down there? Or maybe right here when it passes. I think this is when we're going to see it right here. There we go. Oh, there we go. Right down here. Object in question. Right here. Alright. So good capture. Very good. And there you go. That's our UFO news for today. Jumping away for a moment to wake up. Be right back. Wake up.
What if our government was responsible for some of the greatest crimes against this nation? Would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
People shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of them.
by the CIA. Jimmy Carter saw UFO. Answers to secrets you need to know. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The evidence is overwhelming. Step past your fear, take a look. Illuminati lies keep growing, but they're illusion from your eyes. And wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. What would our founding fathers say if they were alive today? Must be turning in their graves. Redcoats are coming, big brother's watching. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. What if I land and two if I see? And I on the opposite shore will be ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Patriots arise. It's time to demand the truth.
All right, welcome back. All right, continuing on, we're going to move on to Ron Paul. Now, you hear from the mainstream media, they keep talking about the delegates, and they keep talking about how Mitt Romney has this big lead of all of these delegates. But what they fail to mention is that some of these delegates that Romney has are from states where delegates haven't been selected yet. So they're skewing the numbers, thinking that people aren't going to be checking up on them. And most of the time, that is usually what goes on. Because CNN and Fox, they put out their information, and they don't really encourage you to go to the website and fact check. And CBS and ABC and NBC, they're all the same. They all work for the same masters. And they don't really challenge you to go to the internet to fact check what they're talking about, because if you did, you would not end up going back to the mainstream news, because you would find all sorts of places online where there is stories about what's really going on, so you can find out what's really happening. Anyway, this video here, Ron Paul projected to be in second place with 380 delegates. This is much different than what you've been hearing on the mainstream news. So listen to this so you understand this bit of information as well. Here we go.
What is up, guys? This is Matt Larson10, and this is my first video for the day. Now, delegate count is something that seems to be fluctuating all the time. It's pretty hard to get an actual, well, it's impossible right now to get a true delegate count, or one where everything is binding, because there's tons of unbound delegates. But there's a website out here that's called lemonglobalnews.blogspot.de, and basically they say their delegate count is mostly guessing, but the reason we have for this is because of the non-binding caucuses. This is, of course, the states Ron Paul's campaign even says Ron Paul wins. Ron Paul has not won the popular vote, but he's been winning what actually matters, the delegates. So Lemon Global has some grassroots that they use to make a more educated guess on the true delegate count, but they say really their true delegate count is a little bit too conservative. So they say the reason why CNN and Associated Press have different delegate count is because half the delegates they have to guess on. The other thing is that they're hiding that all the evidence from supporters in the delegates meeting show Ron Paul has the most delegates in most states. So when it comes to caucus states, Ron Paul has been winning the majority of them because his supporters have really been doing good. So guys, I'm going to show you their last one that was updated on March 19th, or sorry, the 18th. That showed Romney at 469, Paul 246, Santorum 214, and Gingrich 129. Here's the updated one from today. Romney 503, Paul 380, Santorum 208, Gingrich 77. So, I don't know, guys. You know what? It's hard to really find out the true number, guys. We're going to have to wait until August, but I think that these numbers are probably a lot closer than what CNN or Fox News or any of those other mainstream media outlets are going to tell you. So if you guys did not know, today is the Maryland, Wisconsin, and District of Columbia primary. So you guys need to get out the vote for there. Make sure you spread the message that today is the primaries. Wisconsin is an open primary, so you can be registered as an independent, Democrat, Republican, does not matter. You can go there and vote. So make sure you guys thumbs up this video, share it with friends and family, get the news out there. Big news on the primaries. I'll be covering all that information and results tonight, so you guys just stay tuned for that. As always, guys, it's Matt Larson 10. Go Ron Paul. Peace.
All right, so even though you're not hearing about Ron Paul winning these actual beauty contests, which is kind of what they are. They're straw polls. They pick who's the most popular one amongst them. But then behind the scenes, they have all of these delegate battles that go on. And this is where they're really selecting people to go out and represent. And there, the Ron Paul supporters are doing really well. And you can see from his numbers, he's picking 5,000, 6,000 people, at a talk. So other candidates aren't getting that because other candidates aren't speaking out truthfully about issues like Ron Paul is. All right, next we're going to move on to Obama. Now, we've heard about Sheriff Joe, and I'm going to get a little bit more into him and what he's doing against Obama in a bit. But we've all heard about this case that's going on, the cold case posse. Well, Obama apparently is striking back. No surprise there, right? On the heels of Sheriff Joe Arpaio's challenge of Barack Obama's constitutional eligibility for the presidency of the Obama administration, announced today it is preparing to sue the Arizona elected official for alleged civil rights violations against Latinos in a crackdown on illegal immigrants. The administration's Justice Department and the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office have been in settlement talks for months over Obama administration allegations that officers made unlawful stops and arrests of Latinos, used excessive force against them, and failed to adequately protect the Hispanic community. Those negotiations broke down about the time Arpaio told a news conference in Phoenix that preliminary findings of a 6-month law enforcement probe found the birth certificate Obama posted on the White House site to be fraudulent. We believe that you are wasting your time and not negotiating in good faith, Ron Austin, Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, said in a letter from Maricopa County's Sheriff Austin. Austin said in a letter that Arpaio's team demanded that a meeting slated for tomorrow include for the first time negotiations over the monitor, and previously had demanded that the Justice Department provide more details about its findings. So, not too surprising that they're going to go after Sheriff Joe and continue because Sheriff Joe's going after Obama. We're going to listen to Sheriff Joe now in his own words. I played you the beginning part of that press conference the other day, and very interesting what's there. This is nearly a 2-hour press conference. This next section here, it's a small section where Sheriff Joe gets up and talks about what's going on, and it's really interesting to hear him talk. He's very personable. I didn't know that about him. You only hear the stories about the pink underwear and the bologna sandwiches and out there in the tent prison, but here you get to see a little different side of him. And well, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let you see what's going on here. How about that? Here we go.
know if I can introduce my wife. It's safe around here. You know, we're with good people, I think. My wife, Ava, like in Gardner, AVA. We've been married 55 years this year, right? She's also in my posse, Mike. I made her a colonel. She used to start my car, but with all this going on, she doesn't start the car anymore. Mike, I want to thank you for your hard work. I know you're making a lot of money over this. It's nothing. And your lovely family. And I got to thank you for supporting your husband. This isn't an easy one, believe me. And I see Senator Burgess. Can I mention you? You here, Secret Service, or you're undercover? You got a great senator here in Sun City West. Right? At least she's got the guts to come in here. I don't see many other politicians or around here. What if I got the plague or something? Everybody's avoided. I get on national TV with pink underwear. I can't even get on with this thing. Never seen anything like it. And I spent 50 years as a top federal guy with the U.S. Justice Department. Of course, they're following me around every day, but that's another issue. So, you know, I'm just doing what I took an oath of office to do. I know it's corny to say that, but I firmly believe it. Firmly believe it. A lot of people say it. A lot of people talk, but you need action. You can't just talk. So, and my wife tells me to shut up when I say this, and I'm not going to do it, because where am I? I'm in Sun City West, Sun City, right? A lot of you people know me. Actually, they know me around. They call me the toughest sheriff in America. It's the world. It's not America. So, I'm just doing what I took an oath of office to do, but I'm going to get to tell you something, because now you'll know a little where I'm coming from. When I made this stupid mistake when I ran for office in 1992, you know what I said? The sheriff should be appointed and not elected. I would have been fired 20 years ago if I was. You think I'd be taking on the president if I was appointed? I'm elected. What are they going to do to me? And you mentioned, I report to the people. What, 250 people signed the petition? I don't need petitions, but it was nice. And came to ask me to do something. I'm not accusing the president of any crime. When I took this on, I said to Mike, first of all, I think I was very smart. I don't like to give myself credit, but on this one I'm going to give myself credit. Because I knew if I used taxpayers' money, it'd destroy me. So I got a posse. 3,000 people. You see in the Sun City West. I got a cold case posse. Why not give it to them? Doesn't cost a penny, so they can't go after me and say I'm using taxpayers' money. So I made up the next stops, and got a few attorneys. You're doing a great job. Free. Doesn't cost you anything. So think of that. So I feel very strongly as a constitutional elected chief law enforcement officer for this county, which we have 4 million, right? A few extra floating around, I don't know where they are. I'm not talking about snowbirds. And let's get to a couple of things first. Illegal immigration, you know, they're after me 3.5 years. They're investigating. I don't know where that's going, but we're still doing our job. Judy and other legislators passed 2 state laws on illegal immigration. I'm just enforcing those laws too. And we're the only law enforcement agency in the state doing that. So why have laws on the books if you don't enforce it? You know, I have demonstrators in front of my building. I see Sharpton's in Florida. Well, he was here leading 10,000 people against me. Remember that? And he wanted me to resign. I love this guy. I want him back. You know why? Because I raised $50,000 that day. I want him back. Who's this singer from Tucson? They're going to give her an award for going after me. Olinda Ronstadt. Remember her? She led 10,000 after me, against me down the streets to the tent city. And I have another jail next to the tents, so I played her songs so loud that they couldn't hear her blasting me across the street. That's how you do it. I told Mike, I want to do everything to clear the President of the United States. That was I wanted to do it, really. Some of you probably said, we hope you don't. No, I'm a law enforcement guy. I wanted to be the guy to get up there and say, that birth certificate is legitimate, leave the President alone. But it didn't work out that way. Start working on it. I don't know. There's some problems. And another thing we came up was the selected service form. Now see the media won't print it, and all my press releases. I put a nice little PS, and I said I have registered 40,000 inmates to sign up for the selected service. I did that 10 years ago and still doing it. Then I said we have 10,000 from another country. And when I started this, the U.S. government, the selected service system, didn't even know you have to sign up illegals, aliens. And I did. I got 40,000. So I take this serious, the selected service. Now, it's not I don't know about this coming up, this selected service problem that we have with the President. This came up through our investigation. So what do? Throw that in a wastebasket? No, we're not going to throw it in a wastebasket. And once again, I'm not accusing the President of any crime, but we do have some probable cause on a couple of documents, government documents. And the last I heard, if you forge documents, I think that's a violation of law somewhere. If you did it, you'd be in trouble big time. I don't care who you are, unless you're the President. I don't care who you are. The President mentioned me three months ago at the White House. What an honor. He didn't like the way I'm enforcing the immigration law. That's okay. Great. A lot of people don't like it. But that's a violation of the law. I think we locked up 85 in the last 2 weeks. We raided another business, grabbed 32. A cockfighting ring, we grabbed another 18. We just busted half a ton of marijuana with illegals. I do this all the time. You'll never see it in the media. But it's somebody else, they see it. So we're going to continue our job. And I really thank you for your support. I'm not anybody different. I just spent all those years in law enforcement. And I feel when the people want something done, you should at least try to do it. Might not be successful, but give it a shot. And that's the way I am. I lived all over the world. I was a diplomatic attaché. I worked in Turkey, the Middle East, director in Mexico and South America, and Texas, and Arizona. Nobody asked me my opinion about the Mexican-U.S. border. Very interesting. From the President on down, nobody asked. Hey, where is everybody? How come nobody's at least saying something about me? Not that I need these politicians to do so, but they could at least say we got a nice sheriff. Or at least say, well, I don't know nothing about this, but Let's see what the sheriff comes up with. I don't hear that. All I hear is he's here legitimately, that the birth certificate is okay, and everything's okay. What is it? A 10-year-old can look at that birth certificate and know it's not real, I think, but Mike will explain that to you. So I don't know what's going on in this country. Greatest country in the world, in the universe, in the galaxy. So, anyway, I want to thank all of you. You give me the support. I need your support because without you, I'm finished. I've been re-elected 5 times, and I started. We're in Sun City, right? Yeah, we have some senior citizens around here. Right? See, when I'm in Sun City West, I always get my age. When I'm in Scottsdale, I'm 39. When I'm in Sun City West, I'm 79, going on 80. So I'll be 80 when June 14th, Flag Day. You know what I'm going to do tonight? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not ashamed to say my age. I'm going to take that 80, that phony 80, that was upside down on that selected, so I'm going to flip it, and that's going to be my birthday. I want that to be my birthday. I'm going to show that, I want every birthday card, the copy of that selected service form. Okay? So, anyway, thank you from the bottom of my heart. My wife wants to thank you. Know, this is tough for her too, but without her backing and courage, it'd be tough for me to do my job the last 20 and the last 30. My other wife was very exciting too, but she's always backed me up. So I don't have a problem with the wife, you know, how come you're never home, all you think is, I don't have that problem. So give a little credit to the wife.
All right, very good. So there you go. That's in Sheriff Joe's own words. He's on the case of President Obama. Something is really wrong. If you get a chance, watch this video. It's just short of 2 hours, like an hour and 58 minutes, but it's well worth the information so you really know what's going on. And Mike Zulu, who talks all about the evidence that they have against this, against Obama, I mean, it just piles up. The more that they go after and the more that they research, the more they find another fraud. And it's a shame that that's the President of the United States and there's so much fraud around him, and yet the mainstream media won't touch the story. There is history being made right now in this country, and this story is going to come to light. It's going to come to light, and it's going to be bigger than Watergate. Just when this busts and really busts big, people are going to be amazed. Because you could see, just watching the press conference and hearing the reactions from people as they're hearing the information, they're amazed that it's out there because they've never heard some of this before. All right, moving along. The next story here. Well, we talked about NSA, and they wanted to build a new spy center. Well, now Congress wants to know what NSA is doing with the $2 billion Utah Spy Center. So maybe you've heard of it, and maybe you haven't, but in Bluffdale, Utah, alongside one of the largest polygamist sects in America, the NSA is building a 1 million square foot data collection center, 5 times the size of the U.S. Capitol. Despite immense secrecy and construction workers with top-secret clearances, news of the project made it to the pages of Wired last month. Intelligence Authority James Branford wrote that the center is part of President Bush's Total Information Awareness program that was killed by Congress in 2003 in response to public outrage over its potential for invading Americans' privacy. One senior official formerly involved with the project told Bradshaw that more than just a data center, it's code-breaking megalopolis, the likes of which the world has never seen. Several years ago, the NSA made a major leap in breaking complex encryptions used in everything from financial information, stock transactions, business deals, foreign military and diplomatic secrets, legal documents, confidential personal communications. Anyway, Congress wants to know what they're all about. I think that's important that goes on, because remember, there's connections with NSA and Facebook. So here we have a $2 billion spy center in Utah. Congress wants to know what they're doing. They're obviously collecting information. They've gone after Facebook because of the large data and the database that Facebook is. So people need to really be concerned about what's going on there. What are they spying on? What are they paying attention to? Well, they're paying attention to make sure that people aren't talking badly about them. Well, people are talking badly when we know that they're spying on American citizens. Stop doing that. Stop spying on us, NSA. It's not part of the constitutional rights that you have to spy on us. We're innocent until you can prove that we're guilty, and we haven't done anything wrong, so let us alone. Go get the real bad guys like Obama, who's in the White House. Hey, NSA, you want to spy on someone? You have access to all of this information? Find out what Sheriff Joe is saying. I bet you can dig up that information real easily. Then maybe instead of you guys fighting against him, maybe you can join sides, because the president is a counterfeit, and you should know that. And if you don't, NSA, then maybe your information isn't as good as it could be, and you should look some other places, like on the internet. I hear there's some good alternative shows out there that have good information. All right, next piece up. 9/11 related. This is a really good piece. Now, there's all kind of theories about 9/11. I definitely, it was an inside job. I have no doubt about that. Exactly how it went down, well, there's a lot of different theories and discussions about that. This particular one deals with the planes hitting the building or not. And in this one, this is really, really well done, and that's why I wanted you to see it. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's 30 minutes long. I'll play part of it today, and maybe the next couple days I'll play other parts of it as well. So let's get to this, and I think you're going to find some good information here. Check it out.
Website asking libertarians to contemplate 9/11 truth as an opportunity to convince large numbers of people that big government is harmful. In a first draft, I gave evidence for demolition and mentioned something about the plane crashes.
What planes? Yeah, prove it up. We have an official plane story that's physically impossible. It defies basic Newtonian physics. And when people come to me about eyewitnesses, which eyewitness? Name one. Oh, thousands. And here a small group of us, Andrew Johnson being most important over in England, have gone through the FDNY and EMT accounts, and we're down, by the time you get down to I saw a plane, I heard it, and it crashed into the South Tower, you got one person.
Reynolds persuaded me to reconsider the official airplane theory. I realized then that I had not actually studied the evidence on planes for myself. I had simply taken the word of Jim Hoffman,
collision of Flight 175 with the South Tower,
and Stephen Jones.
Of course, the towers were hit by planes.
Where is the plane debris? Where is the debris below the impact zone? It's not there. Where is the aircraft debris in the gashes? You can see into that building 20 feet anyway. There's not one aircraft part identifiable. You can go to airdisaster.com and look at what plane crashes are really like. A Boeing 767 has 3.1 million parts. Where are all the parts? Where are the contents of the plane? The videos that allegedly show the penetration of the South Tower doesn't show a collision or a crash. There's no collision. What there is a glide in, an absorption, a disappearance of the plane image. Going, well, this is impossible. We know this. 6-year-olds know about this. This is not where there was no crash. There was no collision according to these videos.
Ignoring the explosions coming from within the tower, all of the United 175 crash videos look quite like this recreation using Google Earth. The aluminum airplane disappeared completely into the steel and concrete tower without bending, breaking, twisting, or slowing down. Not one piece of shattered airplane debris is seen. According to Newton's third law of motion, when one object collides with another, each receives an equal force in opposite directions. It doesn't matter which one is moving and which is holding still. Suppose we turn the problem around. If an airplane was suspended in midair and struck at over 500 miles per hour by a skyscraper, can we really believe that the airplane would go completely inside? Or would the result be something more like this? Shattering the much weaker airplane and sending at least some of the material in the direction the building was moving. If this is a better representation for what happens when a tower hits a jet airplane, then the exact same would hold true when a jet airplane hits a tower. And there is another problem with the physics. Behind the wing of any flying airplane, there is a strong rotating vortex of air, like a sideways tornado. It's called wake vortex, and it is persistent, lasting for a minute or more. Of course, wake vortex is ordinarily invisible, unless there happens to be smoke in the air, or a giant fireball. The flame and smoke are forced to curl around the wingtip vortices. Now look at 9/11. We see no evidence that an airplane just flew through this airspace. We should see something like this. The official airplane videos look fake. We don't see any part of the airplane breaking, bending, buckling, twisting, or slowing down. It's unphysical. Ignoring the airplanes, the official 9/11 videos looked like this. They make much more sense with the airplane removed. We see a tower exploding. The wall doesn't break inwards, it explodes outwards. This was my epiphany. The 9/11 airplane videos surely must have been faked using animated airplanes. My simple 3D shatter effect, while it does correctly represent that some aircraft parts would rebound, is hardly realistic. But couldn't the compositrators have made more realistic airplane animations with shattered pieces falling to the ground? Well, actually, no. There are 3 insurmountable problems with that. 1. Time. Imagine trying to model something like this. Animating a shattering, exploding airplane is nearly impossible, while disappearing an airplane is easy. They needed to show the airplane videos quickly. 2. Penetration. They needed us to believe the planes went completely inside the towers, so that we could believe there was massive damage to the central core. 3. Debris. The falling debris would include seats and luggage and people. Thousands of matching items would have to be planted on the streets. It's impossible. A simulation was created that purported to show how airplanes could go completely inside a tower. Engineers and computer scientists at Purdue University created this animation of the plane crashing into the North Tower.
All the animated geometry seen here was created automatically from the simulation output data.
The visualization is supposedly created entirely from a structural engineering simulation. Yet we observe ridiculous impossibilities, such as this aluminum fuselage piece slicing right through a steel and concrete floor, and then the floor assembly coming right back together in one piece.
Stop right there. He's pointing out some really good anomalies there, and this one makes you think. It has some good questions. I think I'll play some more of this tomorrow so that you can see the rest of it, or the link is available if you want to go right now and you can watch the rest of it as well, because it's available, and really good information. Alright, one more story before we jump to our meditation for today. And the other day, remember when dictator Obama tried to reprimand the Supreme Court? Well, here was an answer that came back. Justice Department under deadline to answer court over Obama's health law comments. The Obama Justice Department has roughly 24 hours to explain to a federal appeals court whether the administration believes judges have the power to overturn federal laws in the latest escalation between the 2 branches of government over the federal health care overhaul. A 3-judge panel for the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals on Tuesday ordered the Justice Department to explain by Thursday at noon whether the administration believes judges have the authority. The challenge came after President Obama cautioned the Supreme Court against overturning the health care law and warned that such an act would be unprecedented. One justice in particular chided the administration for what he said was being perceived as a challenge to judicial authority, referring directly to Obama's latest comments about the Supreme Court case. The testy exchange played out during a hearing over the separate Obamacare challenge. It marked a new phase in the budding turf war between the executive and judicial branches. Does the Department of Justice recognize the federal courts have the authority in appropriate circumstances to strike federal statutes because of one or more constitutional infirmities? Judge Jerry Smith asked at a hearing. Justice Department Donna Lydia Kasservang answered yes to that question. A source inside the courtroom speaking for Fox News afterward described the questioning by Smith as pointed. Alright, I'm going to leave the story for you, but you could see that they're not taking very kindly to Obama's words there, and as well they shouldn't, because he's really, he's acting out of control. He's trying to take control of so many things, and he just needs to focus on one and not try to do everything else, because he just get one thing right, Obama. Just one thing. Okay? I know you're trying to make the Obamacare, but you're trying to ram something down people's throat. And within that Obamacare, one of the provisions is to get a chip. And there's a date. I believe we're now less than a year. It was like 36 months from the signing of the document when everyone would have to have this chip in it, and that chip now is less than a year away. So I think some of the stuff that they're finding hidden within the bill, because apparently a lot of people there in Congress didn't read it. So, all right, let's jump into our meditation. Go ahead and close your eyes. Relax. All right. For today's meditation, let us imagine that we are walking along a path. We're walking along a path, we're making sure all of our chakras are activated, starting with the bottom of the spine, the first chakra, which is red. Then you raise the energy up to the chakra above it. Imagine the color orange right at the belly button. Raise the energy up higher to the chakra just below the rib cage. Imagine the color blue. And then from there, raise the energy up to the chakra above it. And that is at the heart space. Imagine the color green. From there, go up to the throat. Imagine the color blue. To the third eye, imagine the color violet. And finally, to the crown chakra, imagine the color indigo. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and indigo. All of the colors of the chakras activated. You're connected above and below. Honor your connection. Feel the energy flowing through you. Allow this energy to overflow. For this light, as it extends outward, becomes your spiritual armor. You can use this light and this energy to strengthen your body, to strengthen the field of protections around you. The more you practice, the better you get. And let's, from the heart chakra, let's just send out love all around the world. Just send out love. Imagine the color green coming from the heart chakra. And as we think about love, and just think of love for everyone in the world today, let's make that our simple energetic effort into the world. Let's bring our energy and attention back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment, filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment, filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment, happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. And there you have it. That is our show, our prayer, and our meditation. I thank you for being here again. It's a pleasure as always. Thank you for your comments, for your emails. Very much appreciated. I thank you for taking time out of your schedule to watch the show and participate in the process that is going on around the world. It's very important that everyone's getting involved. It makes me feel good to know that everyone is listening and is taking action out there. That's important. Awareness is the first step. If we're aware of what's going on, then we can correct the problems. And that's one thing that we are good at doing. We are good at fixing the problems once we know what they are. So we'll bring the problems out, we'll fix them, everything's going to be okay. I'll be back soon. You have a great day. Talk to you. Peace. I'm out of here.